Welcome to Calm in the Chaos. My name is Chuck Hyde, and today we will be doing embodied visualization. When you find yourself engaging in this practice, dropping your awareness into the belly, contacting the texture of the belly, you recenter. And when you recenter, it immediately enhances your emotional resilience, your ability to recover and adapt in a situation that may feel overwhelming, that may feel a little chaotic, a little disheveled. And it gives you that relationship back to you on your terms instead of referencing an external thing or activity or doing. This is immediate. It clicks right in and it's there. I would like to take a moment to invite you to engage with me in this practice. Do I have your consent? Yes, thank you. Let's begin. So I invite you to close your eyes and melt your awareness down into your belly as if it's warm, like warm chocolate, dripping down inside your body. Each breath taking you deeper into the sense of the space that your soul resides in strongest, the most strong. And it collects into a reservoir just behind the belly button. A reservoir of warmth, and dropped into the flesh of the belly. Each breath, inhaling, feeling the skin of the belly. As the belly expands with the inhale, feeling the tension build. And so this is where we introduce the visualization. As you inhale, it's going to feel as if a balloon is being inflated. And as you know, when a balloon inflates, it gets harder to fill because the pressure. So that membrane of the balloon becomes a layer of focus. Inhaling. So this is very active. You're engaging your awareness through the action, using the visualization as a way to tune the dynamic of having an abdomen and awareness and life. Now you can do this in sets of 12. You can do this for 10 minutes. You can do this for 20 minutes. There's no limitation. It's the action of engaging your awareness through this particular configuration of body and attention and focus. So I'm going to trace some pointers through this process of the actual belly balloon. So we're going to give you some clues and some hints to kind of move the practice along a little faster. It's fun to discover these new nooks and crannies inside of the belly because it's like an archaeological dig that you're doing with yourself that's not necessarily only contact-based, but there's real content in our belly that can arise. And the quality of our attention gives us the space to receive these insights, these clarifications, and these threads of data or information that really relate to us in our inner world and how we present ourselves to this biosphere. So there's two diaphragms that we want to focus on, the pelvic floor and then the breathing diaphragm. The pelvic floor is at the base between your pubic symphysis and your tailbone. And then the diaphragm is this umbrella. And it's right here. And it goes all the way back to the kidneys. And that's essentially the structure that you're going to be paying attention to. When we inhale, the breathing diaphragm is going to expand down and compress. And when we inhale, the pelvic floor is also going to feel like it's reaching towards the earth. Think of it as like a receiving. So we're inhaling and we're noticing how the breath naturally moves through these structures. So we're not forcing it necessarily at first. We may use the effort to contact and then back away from the area. Sometimes we have to get a little push and then notice what happens after the push. So let's begin with that. So we're inhaling, inhaling, inhaling. And we're holding that umbrella at the top of the balloon in our visual field, feeling it expand down into the full balloon and pressing the circumference of the cylinder, your abdomen wall, the side abdomen, and the back all the way to the kidneys, even into the spine. And at the very last 10%, you may notice the pelvic floor starts to flutter. Just stay there for a little bit. Just notice any little flickers of contraction or relaxation or any sort of feeling. It could be tension, it could be relaxation, it could be warmth, it could be coolness, it could be numbness. Just you're scanning, you're taking an inventory of your inner terrain as it shows up. So now as you contact the structure, I want you to add a little bit more force. So you're going to go with the force into the force, feeling the abdominal wall. This is for if you have an active movement practice, if you have an active meditation practice, an embodiment practice. This is where you can add some juice. So you're going to add some pressure. So you want to feel like that balloon's really getting tight, and then kind of mash into it a little bit. And it's going to be open to the sounds that may happen when you're inhaling or exhaling. So this is going to get personal. You may notice your perineum starting to like wave or kind of flutter. You may notice areas in your rib cage start to maybe cramp or stretch. These are all a part of the process. After we've given it a good 10 to 15 breaths of activation, pushing, mashing into the belly, let go of the practice, resume normal breathing, and just notice the space. Notice any impressions, the quality or texture of the space, but really sticking with just a gross physical relationship. Don't go into stories, just think about the space. Think about feeling into the space as if thinking is feeling. That energy of thinking into the feel, into the feels. This is where the voice of the breath gets quiet. Almost imperceivable to sound. Letting go of the visualization. So that's the belly balloon. We have the pelvic floor, we have the abdominal wall, also called the cylinder of the belly balloon. And you may have discovered that it's not necessarily a balloon, but it has different qualities as you move through the structure. This is part of the archaeological dig that we were speaking about. You're learning how to contact your structure, exploring and digging, turning your gaze inwards without concept. This is a pure experience. We're working your awareness into your structure. So once we feel like we've got a good contact with that, after about 10 minutes, you'll feel a kind of inversion in your energy. You may feel like you're now, instead of top heavy, pushing your head and your ideas into the world, and you'll feel like you're kind of dropping back and recentered through the lower half of your body. Now, we're not going to give you any stories about what that is, but when you carry that awareness into the world, something happens. And it's fun to pay attention to because you begin to experience moments of you affecting space. When we lead with our head, it's got a different texture than when we lead with the lower half as a kind of cauldron of awareness. So we're really asking you to explore and carry this kind of augmentation of your awareness body and into the world, and experiment with your awareness in this way. That's the magic or the fun of this, because it's very much, it's yours. Once you awaken it, it's there, and it's a resource and it's a tool, and it has nothing to do with me. It is yours now. So after a good little bit of that, and you feel like you have that space open, you can then begin to move into what I call like a light body augmentation. So this is where you start to ask for the help and guidance of what I would call a color or ray. And the way that I explain this is that the colors are sentient. They are intelligent, they are multidimensional, and they are profoundly powerful. And you can look throughout your life if you want to about when color made a real impact onto you. But we're asking for now to suspend judgment about what color means and just explore what color does when you ask it to work within your structure. So we're going to start with a golden yellow. So you're closing your eyes and you're just bringing your attention to what is a golden yellow inside of your inner world. And you may have no ability to imagine color inside of this dark, eyes closed thing, and that's fine. Just go in there and imagine anywhere in your body a golden yellow. And what you're going to do is feel it inside of the balloon. You could even make that balloon yellow, golden yellow. I mean, we're talking any sort of yellow that you feel emotionally connected with, impacted by. It could be the golden sun emerging first thing in the morning, that first light, that glow. And you're going to imagine that glow inside of this balloon. So we're igniting that balloon with the golden yellow. And the thing about sentient intelligences that are multidimensional is that you have to ask. They're not just going to come in and take over the show. You have to ask them. So how do we integrate this practice into our daily life? Well, the funny thing is that the belly, as it's been taught to me, is the source or the embodiment of integration. By simply engaging the belly with your awareness, you are contacting the physical structure of integration. You're forming a relationship with the organs, with the purpose of the belly. So it's literally a practice that unfolds your own integration and your capacity to integrate in a real-time basis. Deep gratitude and thanks for joining me in this practice. I look forward to continuing this journey with you in the future.